Alright, so this is the BLE Domination Base. Kind of a quick walkthrough on how this thing works. So, the Blink app that I created for this project, it shows what the top is the indicated BLE Domination Base. We've got a reset button, a stop and pause game button. So essentially the reset resets all the scores in the game, clears everything out. The stop and pause just kind of halts the game. And that's kind of nice to use whenever a game ends. So you can stop the progress of a game if you're using unlimited time or something, and you guys are done with it and ready to just kind of move forward with the next game or something, or check the scores. You can hit pause or stop the game, and it'll freeze the scores on the bottom and stop accumulating from occurring. So if a player or a team has a base, then it'll stop the team from accumulating the points for that game for the duration of time. So that's kind of what that is. Sorry for the pop-ups. Anyway, so that's that. Then there's the scoring method, which is, you can choose by time, by shots, or damage. So by time, instead of the default, you don't need to do anything. All you do is turn the thing on and start shooting it, and it starts right away. So there's no real action required on your part unless you run settings. So that's how that works. So if the player shoots it, it captures the base, and then from that point on, after capturing it, it starts racking up 1 point per second. Okay. By shots, if you set it by shots, that's whenever a player has to shoot into it multiple times, or the team has to shoot into multiple times, and it tracks those obviously by the team, and the IR sensor and in the program detects what team it is, whether it's by time or by shots or by damage, and associates a point value to the teams. On the bottom, you see red score, blue score, green score, and yellow score for the 4 different selectable teams based upon the configurator mode. Obviously, yellow is only with the configurator set up to modify the settings for that. And then green score is only, if you're playing offline mode, it's really limited to only doing supremacy unless you're using a configurator. By damage, what that does is each IR that's shot into it, everything has several variables or data attributes to the IR tags or the BRX, and there's like I think 7 or 8 on-off signals to calculate up to 256 or so with that damage points. So essentially, the more powerful weapon you're using in it, the bigger or longer reload time you have, the harder it is for that player to get to the base, and that would make it more difficult for them to get there. But the reward is that 1 or 2 shots puts quite a bit amount of damage or points onto the board for them. And if you have an automatic rifle or something, then maybe that takes a little bit longer, to accumulate the points versus with a rifle or a shotgun. Okay. Now, time scores the limit. So I have this set up for no limit default. That's ideal if you just want to let it go and you have the BRX offline mode or something. You have a time limit set or a configurator time limit set, and so it doesn't really matter because the game's going to end no matter what. The problem with doing no time limit is that when you're ready to stop the game and you're done playing, you have to get over to that base and press that pause or stop, because whoever had the team, if it's on a time capture based scoring method, it just keeps on accumulating these points, right? Because the clock is still running. So that's why I have these other ones put in here. So 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or a 900, 600, 300 score. So these 180 to 980 points is essentially relative to the second. So that means that it would take just as many shots to win on that front as well as seconds for the clock. And so really, in the code, I'm only using a couple set variables. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 set variables, no limit to 15 minutes or 900, and those are essentially equal, same, right? So 900 shots are the same as 15 minutes, okay? But you can obviously close in 900 shots with a rapid fire AR faster than 15 minutes because you can sit there and pop that many bullets into it pretty quick. And so the program's set to whoever reaches those values first. It eliminates the possibility for acquiring a score. I haven't built in an alarm or siren or anything like that, which would be pretty good to do, is have like a power supply that shares, with an input or something with a transistor or a relay to enable a alarm or something to go off. That would be pretty cool if we did that. I don't have it set to that now, but that's something that can be added pretty simply or easily. Anyway, so yeah, that's how the scoring works. And then there's the game limits, okay? And so you can actually set, regardless of what the score is, or whatever how many people are shooting, how long, you can set a time limit to where you can limit essentially the gameplay for that long after the first shot is fired. So the game really starts on the box or in the device once the first hit is taken in, okay? So if I clear the score, then essentially it's starting over, it's reset, pressing the reset button. So you can be pressing it, resetting, let go, right, stopping, okay, reset. Okay, that would clear all the scores on the bottom if there were scores present, and that's how that would work. But the limit would make it to where when the first shot is fired, that every team essentially at that point in time only has 3 to 5 to 15 minutes of gameplay, and then it's going to stop bringing in scores, okay, until this is reset, and the clock is reset by pressing the reset button on the controller, on the app. That's what I got. There's some stuff down here on the bottom. It's not used in the code, but it could be. This is just IR identifiers. So, like, it can tell me what type of tag it sends to the app. It's just one of the features I built into other apps for testing, devices and testing out, like, IR codes and stuff and messing around with the settings. So the bottom is just something I just added and included since I already had it built out. And it's just kind of nice because if I wanted to later, I could, do a player-based game to where it's a capture the zone or domination zone play, whatever, by the player. So it's a free-for-all type chaos, mayhem type thing. And I can have an additional tab in here with scores for individual players as well if I wanted to do that versus just by teams. But anyway, and then there's the damage counter for each shot, right? So this was the tag this was like, I think 12, which was probably a concussion grenade or a grenade launcher or something. And I was just messing around a few minutes ago and shot this, and that's why. So tag type 12, team 1, it's blue team obviously, and the damage was 9, but it's a type 12, so it doesn't matter. The damage is increased based upon the function. It's an explosive damage type weapon. So software in the gun processes differently. Anyway, so that's how that works. So whenever you want to play it, you tap the Bluetooth icon to pair. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn on the device. Let me plug the device in real quick. Okay, so that's plugged in now. I'm going to tap. Now it's plugged in. I can tap the Bluetooth icon. There we go. So tap the Bluetooth icon. It says connect BLE device. There's a blink, and I could rename that if I wanted to the Domination Station or something. Now tell me that link is connected. Cool. I'm going to say OK. In the top right corner, I'm going to press the play button to activate this app, and now I'm in game mode. Okay, so now it's actually running. Right? I can turn on a tagger real quick and shoot that. There we go. And the device lights up blue when it's receiving a tag. As you see, it received a tag from a red team, which is actually team 1, sorry. But so Now it's set on defaults right now, so it's running just a time capture base, right? So the score's accumulating, going up, and Bluetooth indicates it's connected. Now I can disconnect from the Bluetooth, and it doesn't matter. The score keeps on running. And I'll show you what that looks like real quick. I'm gonna just turn off my Bluetooth on my phone. Okay. Now it's not connected. I can't get the score anymore, right? So I can walk away and have the phone in my pocket as the controller. It's not a big deal, and I can come back later and get back on my phone and enable, right? And a couple seconds later, it reconnects. And if you didn't catch that, the light went blue again, and the score caught up to speed because the scoring device is still running. So it's non-internet based or non-Wi-Fi or anything required to it, and it still functions and works, which is really cool. And it's kind of like the thing I really wanted to get down to in terms of these controlling mechanisms and stuff is it's not having to have a freaking Wi-Fi setup or something to be able to manage this stuff, but one single controller from my phone is great. So that's running. It's cool. And you can see the tag type was a 1, team 1, damage was a 26. I think that was a SMG X3. On offline mode, and the player was 22 randomized. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that gun off real quick. I'm going to turn it back on, and I'm going to change the mode to free for all. Start it up, fire again. Okay, now you see that that was a blue team, right? Because free for all is blue, and now he's accumulating scores. Red score stopped, right? So that's cool, right? We're running, it's running the limits and stuff, and it's filling up. It was also using an SMG X3. I tend to use that as my favorite weapon, but player 27 now. Before it was player 22. So clearly, it's able to identify and distinguish the randomized player IDs, and distinguish those. That's pretty sweet. And this will just run and run and run. Now, as I indicated before, I can hit stop, pause the game, boom, right, and I stop the game, stop the counter, all right, and so like something happened, we can stop it, and then we can progress it, and we can like have the other team start again. I don't have a button that says start, right, because I think I left it to where, if you wanted to continue the game, you just fire it again, right, and shoot it again. But anyway, that was I don't know that people would even really want to pause the game and just be the game over, start a new one. And then so I'm going to press the reset button, right? And that clears and resets the scores. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have it set to clear the tag type, the team type, a damage player, a critical. It's not necessary, I don't think. I'm not really using those features. They're just reporting. I could do that if I wanted to eventually, right? So this is essentially the BLE Domination Base Station. It's very simple. I mean, it's just a ESP32 with an IR sensor plugged into it, and a little power pack, a solar power charger that I use for it. I mean, it's like the most simplest form I could do, but with quite a bit of features on it. So it's pretty sweet. I think that's it. Thank you.